Hey guys, welcome back to another What If here. Today we are doing another new What If, and this What If you haven't read the title, description, or the thumbnail, it is What If Naruto had the Sharingan, part 1. And if you're like, well, how would he get it? Well, it would be like Minato side, so he'd still be in his Maki by all means, but he would be like his dad would be born, so Minato would be born to two unknown parents because he's an orphan, as I'm pretty sure everyone knows by now. But if you've never watched Naruto, I would suggest watching it before watching this, because it'd make a lot more sense. But yeah, because Minato's born an orphan to what everyone knows as we know he's an orphan, but we don't know. Well, we don't know whose parents are, and so Minato would be born like half Uchiha, but because not all Uchihas can not awake. Well, yeah, awaken like the Sharingan. Not all Uchihas can, and well, of course, I would say he probably took more after. Probably say like his dad's I would say his mum's intelligence. So I'm saying his mum was the Uchiha and his dad wasn't, and took after like his dad's blonde hair and that. So he was known like as an Amakasi because he took enough the only thing he took after his mum was his intelligence. And so, yeah, and of course, fast forward. Of course, Kushina, of course, Kushina gets pregnant, and then fast forward all the way again to the Nine-Tails stack, which, because the Nine-Tails, he's always been, wondering, is, because of course Kushina's not pregnant, he thinks, could her child be the child of prophecy? Because you'd think, it could be, he doesn't really know, he's not sure, but he's hoping, he would get to see the child of prophecy before anyone else. And you'd, of course, you'd think, I remember when that old man, told us that there would be, the child of prophecy would be born with with a eye that by their standards in the future it will be called the Sharingan, and it will have 3 tumors in the around a center black dot, the pupil around the center pupil, and that would be called the Sharingan, where the main Sharingan would be red. This one, the Child of Prophecy holds, or has, which he will awaken, will be purple or a violet colour. And even, you'd remember that because all the tail beasts, they all know, no, I won't say all of them remember the Child of Prophecy, but they all, of course, and Kuma's don't you agree this is the old, the old man? So technically, Naruto is more of the Sage 6 paths instead of the Child of Prophecy. But yeah, anyway. So, of course, now, then Naruto's born, the Uchiha, not the Uchiha, the entire thing will, go the same because, nothing happens. Naruto's a newborn, and Minato, even though he's been half Uchiha, he can't activate the eyes. Well, he hasn't got the genes to activate them, to say. Because of course, it's of course, all the Uchihas think, it's to do with, it's, through extreme pain or that, but other people know that it's through extreme, I think, isn't it the Hokage are the only ones that really know that it's from through extreme emotions. I don't know. But that's always what it seems like. The Uchiha always seem to be the people that think it's out of anger it's awoken. Like, they could be the happiest person, like, in the world, and they would awaken the Sharingan out of nowhere. Yeah, so it's just through extreme emotion. Of course, the easiest is anger, because, well, yeah. And, of course, Naruto would get from extreme sadness, like depression, from extreme sadness, because, he's being hated. So, he's around, say, 5, so he's not 6. Well, yeah, he's not 6 yet, so the Uchiha Massacre just, is a year away from happening. So, of course, Naruto, is, walking down the village, and, some bullies pick on him. And, of course, then, out of nowhere, he, experienced that extreme sadness and depression, and the Sharingan awakens, of course, in the 1 Tomari state, not the 3 that you currently see, but the 1 Tomari state. As, of course, they see the violet, they'd see, that violet, or more so, the Sharingan, say, colour first, as then it would settle into what you see, the violet colour you see, as they just think, he's got the Sharingan, oh my god, we've just messed with the wrong person, as they, run, as they, they don't want to be around the person that's just, got the Sharingan, as they have just, they run for their life. As Naruto's, they're confused, why did they just leave? And yeah, and so, Naruto would walk back to his apartment, as Kuma's, Kuma is in his head, and in this timeline, I'm going to make him female. Just for no particular reason, because I feel like there should be more female tail beasts in there, so, there. Kuma's a gal. Argue with me in the comments down below if you don't like Kuma being a gal, but, yeah. Kuma would pretty much be the same, but he would tolerate Naruto because, he hates everyone with the Sharingan, but he, of course, remembers the Child of Prophecy, and he's going to tolerate Naruto because he is the Child of Prophecy. Naruto's not going to know, but Kuma is in a little while. So Naruto goes home, and he looks in the mirror, just to really check to see, what, damage has he got, has he got any cuts or that, and he, when he first glances out, he doesn't really pay too much notice, then he's like, wait, then he looks back up to his face, to his eyes, and as he then realises, were my eyes always purple? But it's like that Tomoe, that looks like what I've read in books, that the Uchiha clan have a dojutsu, a Genkai dojutsu that is called the Sharingan. Why do I have it? But why is my eye purple instead of, why is my eye violet instead of the red that the Uchihas have? So you go, I've got to go and tell the third Hokage as he passes out. As, he's got, insane chakra reserves, but he's, 5 years old, he hasn't got, one man army, chakra reserves yet. Yeah, that's, I think, the one thing I like about Naruto, he's a one-man army, literally. So yeah, and, it would then, of course, Kuma would pull him in, as, he's seen the eye, he's like, and Kuma, she feels a bit of regret now for in the first time in her life, for killing, she already knows that her father's not gonna, wasn't gonna make it, but her mum, after like a week in intensive care, she would have lived, and even without the intensive care, she would have still lived. Just would have taken maybe like a month for her to regain consciousness. Because Uzumakis can live with a tailed beast extracted out of them. Because Naruto didn't. In Shippuden, because Naruto's half Uzumaki. So, key distinction, he's a half Uzumaki, which means he can't, but his life force doesn't fade instantly. His life force slowly fades away. Then again, it could have also been that he was using Kuma's chakra and not his own, so... Actually, I think that's probably the main reason why, because he was using his chakra. No, Kuma's chakra, not his. If he was using his, I would say he probably would have lived. Yeah, he would have passed out, but he would have been in no danger of dying, dying because of his Uzumaki genes. Yeah. But tell me, in comments, would you have survived if he wasn't in his Biju state when he had the ninth house ripped outside of him? Out of him, I think I said outside. Anyway, so yeah, you'd wake up in this sewer. He would be confused. He's fine, so he's scared and he's confused. He's like, hello, is anyone there? As he proceeds to walk forward, after a minute of walking, he comes up upon a ginormous gate with, in the middle, like the kanji for seal on it, as he's a bit confused, but then he comes a bit closer and he goes, is anyone in there? As, like, Kuma, I'd say, like, she has got, like, a humanoid shape. So, like, the only thing that, Rujo would be, like, the only thing that would be shown would be, like, would be foxes and 9 foxtails behind her, because she's a 9-tailed fox, so 9 tails behind her. I was just like, hi there, and, she'd be, well, no, she'd be like, hi there, Naruto, she'd just, come up to the gate and go, hi there, Naruto. I was like, where am I? Do you know where I am? It's like, and she's like, well, Naruto, you're in your mindscape. And I am, well, you're probably wondering how I know you, and you want to know who I am. So I am, you know that day where the 9 tails to tell you, like, the Furikage told me, well, I'm the beastie 9-tailed fox. So, what? But you don't look nothing like it's like, well, I'm in my humanoid form. I was also being forced to attack your village. It's like, you was forced? It's like, yes, I was forced to by an Uchiha, and I think it's an Uchiha from what you may know from legend, Madara Uchiha, or someone else with a similar power that can control us tailed beasts. I just think like they would continue to talk back and forth for a bit, as just before you leave, you go, as like you become like, should I tell the third Hokage about me having this weird eye? It's like, yeah, but like, yeah, that is what your eye is the Sharingan, why it's purple is probably because, like, your mum was a Uzumaki and your dad was a Namikaze, and while your dad had blue eyes. So I'm guessing it's just do more so something with like the Uzumaki and Uchiha genes mixing together. It's caused your violet eyes outcome. So yeah, of course he's got his normal blue eyes, but he's got violet when he activates his eye. His eyes, not eye. Eyes. As you go about, okay, and one more thing. So, what's that? Do you want to be my friend? And as he thinks about it, he goes, well, this kid he like, even though he's the child prophecy, he has no one. Well, as she thinks about it for me, it's just like, well, sure, Naruto, why not? I'll be your friend, I'll be your first friend. As he's, like quite excited, as she's like, yay! And she goes, oh, and if you ever want to talk to me, Naruto, you just have to, like, think, like, if you want to see me, like, in person, like, where we are, you just have to, like, meditate for a bit, and you should be able to, like, come face to face with me. But if you just only want to, like, you talk to me, you just have to think of the words in your head, and, like, I'll be able to talk to you. Then you don't have to say anything out loud, because if you do, people are going to think you're gone insane. Is that right? Thanks for that. As he also thinks, oh, and like, just one quick question again. She goes, yeah, it's like, why is my mind or mindscape, as you said, a sewer? She goes, to be honest, Naruto, I cannot tell you. I don't know why your mind is a sewer for some reason. As he thinks about it, it's like, well, if this is my mind, then as he like thinks a bit, as like his mind like changes to a nice field with a little like cottage. Yeah, and a nice, like, say, waterfront, which the water would be his like chakra. So the bigger the like sea becomes, of course the more chakra he's got, and the deeper it is, the more dense his chakra is. Meaning, like, say, the less chakra you need to perform like a jutsu. So if your chakra is not that dense, so not that powerful, but you've got a lot of it, you have to use, of course, a lot of chakra. Where, if your chakra is incredibly dense but small, you can use like very little of that because it's like incredibly powerful. And of course, Naruto's probably got the most densest and biggest chakra reserve out of anyone. Because he's got the most powerful Biju inside of him. So yeah. As he wakes up as it's daytime, and as he's like, he gets out, he's like, oh my head, bro, everything hurts. As he goes, why am I here? I should be in my bed. As he remembers it, he's like, oh right, I collapsed. Oh yeah, I awakened the Sharingan. As he goes, oh, and I've got to tell Gramps about it. As he has a quick shower, then runs off. Well, has a quick shower, has breakfast, and runs off to the Hokage building. So of course he goes to the receptionist as he goes, oh, hi there, Naruto, you're here to see the Hokage episode. It's like, And she's like, yeah, she's like, huh, the hook, like, he's also a bit worried about you because you didn't come yesterday. He's like, oh, right, I was meant to, sorry about that. I kind of fell asleep once I got back home. But, yeah, she's a little bit concerned as, like, you know, like, she, of course, doesn't really care about people, as, you know, she's a receptionist. She knows if she starts showing hatred to anyone, she'd be fired. Unless it's someone that she should show hatred to, then, yeah. But, you know, she can't really, she can't really show any hatred to really anyone. So, yeah. So, you know, she'll go to she'll knock on the door, she'll go, okay, I guess Naruto is here to see you. It's like, oh, okay, let him in. As Naruto comes in and he's got, Gramps, I've got something cool to show you. It's like, oh? It's like, yeah, it's like, it's something very, like, important. It's a clan jutsu. It's like one of my clan's jutsu. As he's like, has he awakened the... Like, what he's thinking, because, you know, he's thinking Uzumaki. He's thinking the adamantine ceiling chains and that. It's like, could he have awakened the ceiling chains that Kushina had? Well, it's possible. As he, you know, like, kind of go, like, he, like, there's a hand sign to, like, for the arm boot to leave. And, you know, like, they shut the door as he then does privacy seal, because he doesn't really want anyone, you know, he kind of getting out that, you know, he's awakened his clan jutsu. As he's like, well, Naruto, can you show me? As he closes his as he closes his eyes. Don't know why I find eye hard to say, but yeah, he closes his eyes and then opens them to, like, show the Sharingan, the Sharingan in its one tummy state. As it's, you know, part of eyes is like, Naruto, you have this Sharingan? So, yeah, I've woken it yesterday because some bullies were bullying me, but all of a sudden they ran off. As he thinks, well, I guess if he awakened it and it flashed, because that's a nice violet colour, but knowing that, it could, like, you know, the boys could have assumed it was the Sharingan. So, you know, these, yeah. But he's like, it's like, but Kushina couldn't have been it, because she was, you know, pure Uzumaki. I guess Minato could have, because, like, you know, like, one of his parents could have been an Uchiha, but, you know, he would have been half Uchiha because he had blonde hair and that. And, you know, he kind of puts puzzle, you know, together with that, his, you know, like, well, he doesn't really know who, like, how, you know, who was the Uchiha. But, yeah. But he's like, as he's kind of interested, as he's like, no, that's interesting, you know, to say the least, and it's purple. And it's like, yeah, could it be purple because of, like, say, my dad being half Uchiha and my mum being full Uzumaki? Could it be those two things mixing together and causing this outcome? I think it's like, that's a well, you know, like, sound theory to why. And I would say, you know, like, Uchiha is, like, I'm surprised, and she's never really married in Uzumaki, because, like, you know, Uzumakis have got insane chakra reserves, and Uchihas have got, you know, the eye. And I'd probably say, you know, like, it would generally be a smart idea if you've got a, like, a Gekigenkai, you'd probably genuinely want to try and marry or marry a Uzumaki because of their insane chakra reserves. Yeah. Anyway, so and he so for Naruto, I guess I should get a teacher to show you how to properly use your eye. So yeah, okay then, as he thinks, he's like, should I do on the Uchihas or? So he thinks, he's like, no, I shouldn't do the Uchiha because who knows how they can make now? They're generally power this, power that. They're generally after more and more power. And they try and put Naruto down as Naruto's awakened Sharingan, so he's an Uchiha, not a Uzumaki. But yeah, honestly, thinks a bit more as he's like, as he then goes, I guess, yeah, Kakashi would be a good fit. It's like, well, as he then he disables the privacy seal, and that as he calls in, he says the name, and one of the he says Fox, as Fox appears, and he goes, can you go and get me Kakashi, please? And tell him I want him here right now, otherwise I'll burn all his books without instantly. It's like, yes, okay, as he goes off to find Kakashi, as a couple of seconds later, Kakashi comes and he's like, you called Kage-sama. He's just like, thinks inside, he's like, oh, it's that boy. As he's like, yes, this is, the he doesn't really want to say it, but Naruto's already aware of his heritage, because Kuma, she's already told him. As it's like, his father was apparently half Uchiha, but he couldn't awaken but his father wasn't in line to couldn't awaken his Sharingan, so it passed down to Naruto, and Naruto has awakened his Sharingan, and I want you to teach him how to use it, Kakashi. As Kakashi's like, okay, but why do you want me, Hokage-sama? Wouldn't someone from the Uchiha clan be a better fit than me? So, well, it would, Kakashi, by all means, it would be better, but you know how the Uchihas are, and currently wanting more power and that, and their current state within the village, and they try and claim Naruto to they try and claim him, and he's like, good point there, Hokage. Hokage's, good point, Lord Fred. As like, so, yeah. As he goes, oh, and if you're and by the way, when you're training him, if you're ever late, I say here from Naruto, if you're ever late, I'll burn all your books just to make sure you're on time. Got it? As he's like, yeah. As he's like, you wouldn't. It's like, I'm the Hokage, I would. You've probably got a book already in your pouch, so do you want me to show you? Do you want to hand it over here, and I'll happily burn it? As he's like, no, I promise that I'll be on time. And it's like, good, because I'll be asking Naruto every day if you've been on time. Yeah. As he's like, as in his eyes, like, damn you. Yeah, he's not that pleased. But yeah. And the thing is, because Naruto would be, two birds with one stone. So, because he'd be able to, like, say, like, help, like, the like the Uchiha clan with, like, the eye kind of thing. So, like, yeah, and he'd be helping out his sensei with, like, his sensei, like, by training his son. So, yeah, and, like, and, like, some time will pass. Around a year has passed now, as, like, Naruto's now, got his Sharingan matured, so it's in its 3 tomorrow state, as you currently see. And he's, like, he would do a throughout, like, the year, around, like, 5 months in, he'd no, not 5 months, 6 months in, that's halfway, so 6 months into their training, he would get, he'd go to the Hokage one day. He'd go, Hokage-sama, I know I'm going to be late for Naruto's training, but I wanted to come here. He's like, okay, why did you want to come here then? It's like, well, wouldn't it be also good if I know what Naruto's chakra natures are, like what his chakra nature is, so that he can at least have maybe one jutsu or that, because, well, me and you both know, because he's got the QB inside of him, he's got insane chakra reserves. Yeah, because, we both know he's got the QB inside of him, and, we both know he's got insane chakra reserves, because, A, he's Uzumaki, and B, he's, got 9 tail silver inside of him. So, yeah. So you think it's like, I was just like, yeah, I think that's a good idea, to see what chakra natures he's got. Who knows, he could have, all 5 elements. It's like, I don't know, I don't think so, Kage. That would be pretty rare, and, yeah, but who knows. As you go over things, like, as he'll come, you go, he's like, Kakashi Sensei, you're late. It's like, as you go, Kakashi-san, Kakashi Sensei, why are you late? So, well, I had to go to the Hokage office first, because I wanted to run something past him, so that's why I said, it's like, you know how you've seen me do, water wall and, and fire style, fireball jutsu and that. It's like, yeah. It's like, well, we're gonna learn what your chakra natures are. I was just like, because once we know what your chakra natures are, I can teach you, more so you can copy it, but I'll teach you how to do, say some, basic jutsus, because, to say the least, Naruto, you've got more chakra than anyone here. It's like, well, I guess so, because, I am the Jinchuriki of the 9 tails, and I'm an Uzumaki. It's like, you know about 9 tails? He's like, oops, I didn't mean to tell him that I knew. She's just like, you stupid brat, you just had to say, didn't you, that you knew about me. So I can help it just come out. So, doesn't, well, I guess, nothing really bad's gonna happen, and plus they should have told you when you was, 3 or 4 years old that, what you carried, because, well, yeah, it's stupid for you to not know. As you say that, as he goes like, who told you? Naruto, who told you? It's like, well, the fox told me herself. It's like, the fox? And it's okay. It's like, yeah, I talk to her every night. The day I awoke in my Sharingan, I passed out on the floor, and she pulled me in as she told me that I was, like my eye is called the Sharingan, and that she's the nine-tailed fox. So, and she also told me that the nine-tailed attack that happened 6 years ago on my birthday was because like an Uchiha, she thinks it's either Madara Uchiha or someone with a similar skill set to be able to control a tailed beast. As he's thinking, this is like, all new information, but he goes, she did say that is, definitely in Uchiha. As that she's as if she was ever free, the one thing she would do would be to wipe out the Uchihas no matter what. So yeah, it's like, well, I could understand that, if you was forcefully controlled by an Uchiha, you'd want to wipe them out. But yeah, it's like, great, but she's like, there's a reason why she doesn't hate me, but she won't tell me. She says I'm not, like, I wouldn't understand it. Yeah, so she said she'd tell me when I'm older. And as he's like, so do you know, it's like, who my parents are? It's like, yeah, I did. She told me also that my dad is Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, and my mum is Kusuno Uzumaki, the previous Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox. As he's like, damn, I've got, tell the guy, and it's like, you kept that secret for, a good year. It's like, well, now you and Hokage are the only two now that know that. I know, but yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, and no one else knows that you've got the, the Sharingan. It's like, no, nobody knows, Like, I pretty much can't even walk outside my door without being, like, hatred on. It's like, come on, it's like, nine tails is sealed inside of me. It's stupid. I'm not going to become her, and even if I do, I'm probably not going to go on a rampage. So, what do you mean become her? Well, like, she said that when I become a genin, I should start training to use her chakra, so that if anyone ever tries coming after her, or after, like, me, because of my heritage, I could, protect myself with using her power. And she thinks, like, damn, she's smart. She also thinks that's also a good idea. She thinks, like, well, the reason why she doesn't want to start it now is because she thinks, she believes that I should focus on, like, mastering my eye first before mastering the chakra, because if I can master my eye and that, and have some, like, jutsus under my belt, then, when it comes to using a chakra, I can, use, like, jutsus and that, like, increase their power, and that. Otherwise, I'd be learning how to control a chakra for really no reason, except for the speed and strength buff it would give me. Kasuga, that's a very good idea, Naruto. So yeah, it's like, I can use, she said that she'll give me a bit of her chakra, like, to fight if I'm running low or if I'm heavily, like, injured, just so I can heal a lot faster. But my natural healing abilities are, like, faster than normal. So yeah, and as well, yeah, and you go, oh, and yeah, like the reason why we went to the Hokage was to learn of your chakra nature, or natures, depending on how many you've got, Naruto. As you hand him a like piece of paper, as it would slit it cut into 4 pieces, or like more so like a plus. So it's a square, and then it's now 4 smaller squares. As one would catch light, one would crumple, one would be flooded with water, and one would just fall to dust. Then out of nowhere then all 4 would turn to a block of ice, and snow would start falling from it. As he thinks, a Gekikenkai? But as he's just, a bit confused. As yes, Naruto's got snow release and ice release. Well, maybe I would say definitely snow release, but do you guys want him to also be sort of ice release, or just like snow release? And that, yeah. Well, no. He'll have snow release. He'll be the first person to have snow release. Yeah. As Kakashi, as then, all of, then, all of a sudden, who, the 4 pieces of paper that were there just, all of a sudden, a pile of snow comes in his hand, as he's like, it's like, hey, Gekikenkai, it's like, Naruto, I think we need to go to the Hokage, and it seems like you've got all 5 chakra natures: earth, wind, fire, water. Earth, wind, fire, and water. What am I missing? Earth, wind, fire, water, thunder. Well, electricity. Yeah, you've got all 5 chakra natures. And it seems like you've got a Gekikenkai as well. So yeah, it's they would go to the Hokage office, as he's like, oh, Naruto, Kakashi, it's nice seeing you, but what's business today? It's something serious. It's to do with Naruto. He's got something special. Hokage, as he was motion for all the armor to leave, as they do, as the door shuts as he triggers the privacy seal. I was like, okay then, what is it? As because firstly, Naruto's got all 5 chakra natures. As he just says, well, that's a bit ironic, isn't it? I joked about Naruto possibly having all 5, and yeah. He's like, yeah, but also Naruto's great Gekikenkai. Oh? It's like, well, obviously, it's like, no, not the Sharingan. On about another Gekikenkai, he's got 2. It's like, oh? It's like, well, he could also have 3 of you being an Uzumaki, but yeah. But, yeah, his 3rd one is something I've never seen before or even heard of. So, what is it? It's what I've seen when we did the test. It was he had a snow, he just had a pile of snow in his hand. It's like, oh, so it's like to do with snow. So it's like snow, so snow Gekikenkai. It's like, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm not sure what you'd be able to do, but yeah, interesting to say the least. It's like, and having all 5 chakra natures, the Hokage thing, and he's now possibly the first person, with snow release. What is going on with this boy? First he has the Sharingan. First he awakens the Sharingan from his dad's family, and now he gets, and then he has all 5 chakra natures, and now he's got snow release. What's going on with this boy? Yeah, it's damn, this boy must be a genius. Yeah, not a prodigy, but a genius. A person that comes around every, I'd probably say, 100 years or so. Of course, the Hidden Leaf Village is only more known for their, prodigies and geniuses. So, for them, it's once every, 10 to 20 or so years. But yeah, it's very, very rare to be born with all 5 and to have 2 Gekigenkai. And he could even possess a 3rd if he can awaken his Uzumaki chains. Yeah. So it's well, I guess, you can do some training with that. And I think it's about time we try and get him to awaken his, Uzumaki chains. He's and they looking at it, it's why am I here to be precisely? Is that, oh right, well, I think you should tell him what you told me about that. It's what? It's well, Gramps, I know who my parents are. It's what? How? Who told you? Kakashi, did you tell me? It's no, I was surprised when he told me. I thought you would have told him. See, it's nice. It's yeah, the nine-tailed fox, she speaks to me every night. So you speak to her? It's when did that happen? It's well, when I first awakened my Sharingan, I passed out on the floor, and when I passed out, I was poor, I saw her, and so she told me who my parents were, and she told me who she was, and that the Nine Tails attack that happened 6 years ago wasn't she didn't want to do it. She was forced to do it by Uchiha, and she believes it's either Madara or someone with Madara's skill set. He's has to be around the same level as Madara to be able to control a tailed beast. As he was, and it's yes, this is important. This is S ranks. This is an S rank. You can't tell anyone this Naruto is. It's I haven't. Who can I tell? I've got. Well, Nine Tails is really my only friend besides from Kakashi Sensei, but he's my teacher really. And you Gramps, you feel really the only people that speak to me besides from the receptionist, but she has to be kind to everyone. And it's well, I think she's a lot more kinder to you Naruto than anyone else. But yeah, and it's oh yeah, and Naruto, in around a month's time, the your year group will be starting the the academies be starting for your year group. So you can go to the academy if you want to, or you can it's continue to be trained by Kakashi. But mind you, of course, Kakashi will have to go on missions. So I think you should maybe go to the academy, but only go when Kakashi's out on missions, as he like, he thinks about that. He's like, okay, Hokage-sama like, I think that's like a good idea. Yeah, Kakashi will get his first mission like in around a year, because he's been training, he's been training Naruto for a year. As he's also gotten a bit faster and stronger as Naruto's of course more mastered his eye. He's gotten a lot faster, and he's even been pushing Kakashi a bit, so they both have been getting stronger. I was like, well, I really didn't teach you really anything today, as it was just all full of this. But as the academy starting in a month's time, I guess I can teach you a jutsu or that in the month that's left. Because I think for at least maybe for the first 3 weeks, you should be there. But it's if anything happens, on the first day, I just well, could you be there to pick me up? Kashi Sensei's like, oh? So, well, everyone will be there, everyone will be picked up by their parents or an escort that would take them to their clan's home. So, could you pick me up? Because then we could, do some training then afterwards. It's like, well, I guess so. I guess I can. The Okage's really, he's gonna really keep Kakashi, in the village when he's, doing missions. So it'd be just helping out, maybe, repairing buildings, repairing, fences, finding, trying to find, a missing cat that has been, lost in the village, and that. So, yeah, simple quests, helping an old lady with, getting her groceries or something like that. So, yeah. As even though, he finds it tedious, he understands that, that of course his main priority now is really training Naruto. As you'd go to the Hokage. Well, no, as Naruto leaves, I was just like, well, I'll be going home then. It's as Naruto leaves, as Kakashi goes, well, Hokage, so I'm guessing you're not going to give me a Genin team this year, as I'll be training Naruto, and if I have a team, then I can't really train Naruto now, can I? He's like, yeah, you're right. You're up until Naruto say becomes a Genin, you're not gonna have a team. So once Naruto becomes a Genin, I'll probably be putting him on your team, and if no, he doesn't really think of Sasuke yet, because his clan's still there. This clan's still alive. But yeah, and then two weeks left until the academy. The Uchiha Massacre happens. As Naruto, in that 2 weeks time, he's learned. He's at least learned how to manipulate his chakra, so he can do he can because he's also Kakashi first taught him, well, they've been doing chakra exercises and that, so he can walk up a tree. As he goes, Kakashi sensei shouldn't be trying to run up a tree 100 times. So it's what? It's well, yeah, because if we can do that, it'll be increasing our reserves, and plus if we do it once, it doesn't mean we can do it again. Because if it takes a lot of us out the first time, now doesn't mean we'll be able to do it again. Then does it? As It's like, well, I guess you're right there. I just, that's what they, that's what, their warm up is like 100 runs, like 100 runs on, like, on the tree, then 100 runs on the water. As they have to, like, go from land to water, land to water, land to water 100 times, and the same with the tree. Like, land to tree, 100 times. So first tree, then water. And they do that pretty much every day. So their chakra, results are growing. So like the Sharingan's putting less and less strain on Kakashi. Because, like each time they battle, he is, using it. Because now Naruto's, got his one matured, Kakashi, needs it to be able to predict, and even then, Naruto's kind of like found out at least Kakashi's Sharingan's weakness. So which is because he's only got one eye. He's unable that one. It's slow at predicting. So if he's got an unpredictable style, he's going to be able to land more hits on Kakashi than because his eye's not be able to predict what's going to happen. So yeah, as Kakashi, I would say sometimes say tough about anytime they decide to count it, so say Naruto's one made 10 of their spars and Kakashi's 160, but Naruto is slowly increasing, it's slowly starting to become 50-50 in their winnings. Most of the time it's just a draw, so it's they've done it around 200 times. Well, no, that would be 70. Yeah, so say Kakashi's done it. Say Kakashi's won it 80 times and Naruto's won it 20 times. But of that, even though that's 100, most of the time, 50% of the time, it's a draw. So yeah. The only time the other person wins is because they managed to caught them off guard somehow. But yeah, so he's learned at least how to mold his chakra and how to put his wind chakra into kunai and that. As he's also kind of learning how to what his snow release can do, and that what he's come up with is snow clone, and a snow golem. So he can do it here. So it's generally of course not that great. The snow clone is fine, but the snow golem will melt after around 20 minutes because it's not winter. When it's winter or when it's cold out, his snow release will be better. But he's not he's still learning it. But once he at least becomes a Genin, he'll be able to make them without melting. But that's in the future. He's currently only 6. So yeah, as as of course as 2 weeks before the academy starts for Naruto's year, of course it actually wipes out pretty much wipes out 90, let's just say 98% of all Uchihas. It would be 99 if Naruto wasn't one third. Yeah, 1/3 or 1/4. It'd be one. It'd either be 1/3 or 1/4. I'm not sure. I think he's 1/3. Yeah, he's 1/3 Uchiha. Yes, he's 1/3 Uchiha and 1/3 Namikaze and half Uzumaki. So yeah, and he's also been able to make his Uzumaki chains, but he's only able to do one chain. Yeah, he's only able to get one chain out for now, but of course he's like, yeah, because he's having to, he's having to try and master that and his Snow all by himself, because just like his Snow Genkai is all new, to the world. And there's really no Uzumakis in the village to show him how to use his chains. So so he's having the Furukage's got books and that Kushina had, to help Naruto with mastering his chains and that, which have of course helped him to awaken his chains, as he's just trying to get more of them out and that, and also trying to control them better. But yeah, and the one thing he can do at least, which he can at least mask the chakra signal of them, or in other words, before it comes out of the body to attack or to do whatever, there'd be a sharp spiking chakra in a certain area. It's in say the user's palm, if it's going to come out of their the palm of their hand, or in their foot. But Naruto floats his entire body, so it doesn't it just looks like he's increasing his, he's about to do a Sharingan jutsu or something like that. They don't know he's gonna do the chains, so that's helpful. Yeah, as Kakashi's Kakashi would go, sorry I'm late, Naruto. I've been kind of tasked, besides from training you and now looking after you even more, is because, just last night a Uchiha by the name of Itachi wiped out his entire clan. He left one person, his younger brother, which is called Sasuke. He's the same age as you, but he hasn't awakened his Sharingan yet. And I guess you've seen the elders because you've been around. I've been in some of their meetings when I was younger, when I was 2 or 3. They're just constant moaning this, moan about this and that and this and that. It's and they're they're well, once Sasuke, now Sasuke's the last, the last Uchiha alive. As Naruto kind of giggles, to that, as him and Kashino, he ain't the last Uchiha. Yeah, it's because Sasuke's not the last Uchiha, we need to, as Kakashi's the only one with a Sharingan. Once Sasuke awakens his Sharingan, Kakashi will have to teach him from that point forward. As he's when he graduates, when Sasuke becomes a genin, I will put him on a team with their sensei being in Kakashi. As he's now like, well, that's two of them. Now, it's like, who will be the, like, I forget what the girl's called, the Konorichi. It's like, what is that going to be, some Konorichi that has a Sharingan that he thinks. It's like, oh, I hope not, otherwise that'd be well, it's already, the strongest team, considering, in canon themselves, they walked off to a C rank and they came back alive, everyone alive, from an A rank. Yeah, they walked into an A rank and they came back, just fine, with Sasuke awakening his Sharingan and Naruto, now at least to a degree being able to harness the chakra of the nine-tailed fox. So they go there and they come back stronger. So yeah, I'm pretty sure a team that's they're pretty much like the strongest. I think they're known as the strongest the strongest rookie team out there. Yeah, mainly thanks to Naruto and Sasuke. As Kakashi, and Naruto and Kakashi go, well, I just hope he doesn't put a fan. I just hope the further Kage, when we graduate, I just hope he doesn't put a fangirl on our team, because Lord, will that just be annoying? As Kakashi like a fangirl? Why? Right, because Kakashi, because Sasuke's like the last Uchiha, and of course you're having to keep. Well, once you're in a Genin team or become a Genin, he's once you become a Genin, Naruto is to be honest, I think even the Hokage knows that you could probably go in there and then within say next year when the Genin exams come, you could probably go in there and pass it because of me training you could probably pass it. And I think even the Hokage knows, but he probably won't be happy if you do that nowadays. Yeah, I kind of guess so, but yeah, really, what they, got to teach me, I've been taught by you, Kakashi Sensei. It's well, I guess, history and that, because, and plus, maybe you'll be able to make friends, because, Naruto knows the order that's, out there, the law that is out there. If anyone dare speak about the Nine Tails, they're dead. They'll have their head chopped off immediately, pretty much. So, yeah. So, because of the younger generation, his generation, shouldn't know about it. So, of course, Sasuke's gonna be the emo and that. So then another 2 weeks pass. He's got wind style wind wall and water style water wall, earth style earth wall, fire style fire wall, and oh yeah, would be electric, I guess. Well, no, not thunder. Yeah, well, electric style. I'm not sure. I guess Kakashi would teach them like the electric clone. Yeah. As he doesn't know if there's like an electric wall, so because he knows there's a wind, fire, water, and earth one. So yeah. And as Naruto's also now learned how to do like a snow wall. So yeah, like when he's about because of if it of course it's easier for him to say make snow if he's if it's raining, or if it's like if there's a lot of water in the air, if it's humid. But yeah, but he's still able to produce snow no matter what. Yeah. Anyway, as well, of course Naruto. Well, Kakashi would take him to. Take him, like Kakashi would knock on Naruto's door as Naruto would he'd wake up and Kuma's like, come on Naruto, it's time to get up, you're gonna be late for your first day of school. It's like, boring school. It's like, well, who knows, you may learn something, and plus you can always become a genin after a year because of your skills and that. It's like, yeah, but I think I should stay until I'm at least 11 or 12, so I've got like some more like experience in that. And a week before the academy, the Furikage finally, after around 3 months of arguing with the Hokage to let Naruto go on missions with him. But it'd be like D ranks, so like helping out in the village. So like he's not going to be going on any C ranks, not anytime soon. But yeah, he gets at least, so like when he's with Kakashi, it will help him with at least some experience, and also it would help it would help with the villagers, because villagers are going to see him more. They're going to realise he's more human than what they thought. Obviously, as if he's helping out, being polite, and fixing stuff and that, and yeah. And and he's as like Kakashi's. He's they've gone on say like 2. He doesn't want to do too many, so he's done like 2 D ranks. He's like in his time for the academy, he'd probably rank up around like 2 to 3, maybe even 400 or 500 D rank missions. But he's not going to do like that many a year. I'll probably say he'd probably actually rank up around 100. Like by the time like the first school year's over, he's got around 100. He's like done 100 D ranks. So yeah. Anyway, so Naruto would get up as he would have breakfast as Kakashi would knock on the door as, so it's unlock Kakashi Sensei, you can come in, as Kakashi walks in, takes off his shoes as he's like, well Naruto, you ready to go to the Ninja Academy? So what, and learn and spend time in class where I could be with you, either doing D ranks. It's like, as much as I want to go outside the village. I know I understand that it took you a while to get the Hokage to for Gramps to agree on letting me do D ranks, and yeah, you'd be pretty hungry if you took me out on a C rank. So yeah, you'd be pretty angry indeed, Naruto. I think you'd have my head for that. So yeah, I don't know. You are the only person with a Sharingan in the village. As like they joke about that because like nobody knows that Naruto's got Sharingan. Besides from the fellow Kage. And yeah, as like Naruto finishes, like he would finish that breakfast as he, he'd go. He'd go as Kakashi takes him to the to the entrance of the academy. As Naruto, like on the way, Naruto goes, well, what you gonna be doing today, Kakashi Sensei, when I'm in school? Like in school all alone, bored. So well, I'll be doing some D ranks and helping around the village because, well, the Hokage doesn't want me, like doing like any really C ranks or that, just in case I won't make it back in time for like to pick you up and that. And if it's like a long C rank where I could be like gone for a good day or two, that's 2 days of training you've missed out on. And yeah, and she's not that thrilled about it. As he goes, I can understand that. But it's like these C ranks, these D ranks, they've got to be annoying you. It's like, well, I don't know, maybe I think tomorrow, Naruto, if you come with me to the Hokage, or after like school, Naruto, if you come with me to the Hokage's office, maybe we can argue to get you to be able to do at least maybe like 1 C rank a week, or 1 C rank maybe like every other week at the right, like at least, or maybe 1 C rank a month. So then, like you've got at least some experience on, going out the village. And that. Oh, yeah. As you go, well, we can try, but I don't think he'll listen. But it's like, yeah, but I think, he'll listen to you at least, Naruto. That, well, maybe. I can't guarantee nothing, Kakashi Sensei. I can't guarantee nothing. As they arrive at the school. She's like, well, I'll see you when it's time to pick you up, Naruto. It's like, it's like, okay, bye, Kakashi Sensei. As she's like, well, no, you've got boring school too. So, well, I guess you could always just go into the lesson and then just like, and I could, like you could spar with me in your mind up until like the lesson's over. Then I can tell. Then go to the next class and that. As it's probably not really going to be nothing interesting. Unless it's talking about clans or that, then you can listen into. But I don't think it's going to be that important. As well, yeah. As really like for the first day, it's only just getting to know everyone. As like Naruto would come as like Iruka, as he'd go as Iruka essentially would go, everyone, this is Naruto Uzumaki. As he looks at them, you would look at him at first with the same cold eyes. It's just like, so you're my teacher. I guess to Hokage-sama has informed you that I won't really be in here much. Maybe like at most once a week or once every 2 weeks. breaks. You know, like maybe like twice a week or that. It's just like, yes, the Kage-sama has told me that you won't be in school that much because you'll be because of reasons. As you know, like, yeah. As you know, at first, you know, he didn't really like Naruto, but he warmed up to him once he got to learn how Naruto was and that. As it's like, well, you know, introduce yourself. It's just like, well, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. What I like to, my dreams for the future is become Hokage, to become the, and protect everyone that's important to me, and to become the strongest Hokage that I ever was. And what I like to do is training with my sensei and Hokage-sama occasionally. And yeah. As you know, like he's like he can't tell them that, you know, he goes on D-rank missions because yeah, you know, like yeah, but nobody would believe him anyway. And like everyone's already finding it hard to believe that the Hokage, you know, even like has trained him, as you know, he's the well, no, the only really person there that knew who what Naruto not had, but like kind of about or wasn't like not meant to be around Naruto was Ino. Like she was really the only one. Like everyone else didn't really care who this boy was. Yeah. As you know, you'd see as he would go over, he's just like, I guess that's Sasuke Uchiha. As you know, you'd sit on the like same desk as a couple of seconds, as a couple of seconds would go by as Sakura and Ino would burst through the door. And I'm here first. I got here first. My foot wasn't like just trying to be in front of you, and yeah. So they glance up as like they glance up to like the only Uchiha left, so called. Yeah. And it's like, wow. Sakura and I forgot her name. I was going to say like Sakura and Sakura and I forgot her name. Blondie. Sakura and Ino. As he goes, well, it's about time you come here. You're a minute late, Sakura and Ino. As right, sensei, as they go, who's that? It's like, well, I've told you you're a minute late. You have to find out by asking him yourself when, it's when you've got time to. Now, sit down. He goes on. He will introduce himself that he'll be their teacher, until they graduate and that. Yeah. And well, yeah, and like one by one, everyone come up to the front to explain. Like who, that, they'll just say their name and their goal for the future, really. Because, well, yeah. As he doesn't really do Naruto, as about when Naruto introduced himself, he said what he, liked in that. So, yeah. So, and it's like, well, now everyone, after, an hour or two, everyone's done as. It's like, well, then. Well, I guess it's, it's time for lunch. He's going to, go outside. Sakura's like, Sensei, you skipped over this person here, that person over there. It's like, well, if you was here a minute earlier, you would have heard what he's called, like who is he and what his goals for the future and what he liked. But as you were late, that's your fault, not mine. As they leave as they go and eat, as Naruto just eats really by himself. As well, Sasuke would go off somewhere, by himself, and he has fangirls just stay trying to find Sasuke. Yeah, as Ino and Sakura they have to diet and stuff like that. As Naruto's just oh God, help me! Do I hate fangirls? As he's got no fangirls, but he knew Sasuke would have some because he's the last Uchiha. As Naruto is smarter because he's being trained by a Jonin. Yes. Yes, I was right. Jonin. He's being trained by a Jonin. And plus, he speaks to Kuma most of the time. Well, when he's asleep, So from the time he goes to sleep to when he wakes up, he's speaking to Kuma, and which, she likes, because, ever since Naruto found out who she is, Naruto has, been going there every night for, the only reason, really, to keep her company. Because, he thinks, it's got to be, it's got to be lonely, lonely just being, there all by yourself. As, Naruto, when he made cottage and that, he did make, some birds, some animals and that, and some black foxes, so some wildlife. So it's not, of course, it's just, imagination. As, she feels, happy, she's a bit more happier, from the sewer, she does have, a choker or collar around her neck which says seal. As it's anytime they go in, it's he pretty much as Naruto goes in, it's almost like a chain goes from the collar to his hand, so she can't she can't go far, pretty much. She can't run off, to say. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. So if you have enjoyed this, well, you know what to do, and well, in the next part 2, yeah, so in part 2, Naruto would probably be doing the Genin exams and that. So there's not really going to be much to talk about, with sort of school and that. I'll do flashbacks when they're needed, about school, but I'll probably just skip over it, skip most of it over. So yeah, so if you have enjoyed this, again, if you've enjoyed it and you want to see more just like this, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next wonderful video. And hey, good.